Today is January 15th, and DJ LeMahieu is coming back to the Yankees. 6 years, $90 million, $15 million a year on January 15th. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk all about it. Let's talk all about it. Let's talk Yanks, babe.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore and weekly awards. Stat lines, steaming hot takes. Your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for tuning in today. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake, and in the corner we have producer BBD. And the Yankees gave us some good news this morning, a Friday news dump like none before. Actually, Friday morning, which we didn't expect. So if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you for tuning in. I'm excited, and I always feel the pushback coming. So I always want to say, like, hey, it's been dead off season.
Oh, dead.
So if this excitement is like, you guys shouldn't be that excited. We knew this was going to happen. Shut up. Friday just got more exciting. I'm excited. Jake, are you excited?
James, producer Big Baby David, everyone live in the chat right now. I'm excited, man. We thought this was coming, right? DJ wanted to be back. The Yankees got the bankroll. If it doesn't happen, we're starting to dream of alternative plans. The Mets get Lindor. You start going to the dark place. The Yankees aren't doing anything. They basically said we're not doing anything until we figure out the DJ thing, which for us was kind of sucky. Like, oh.
But now it can be fun.
Now we are dreaming. Now we are excited. We might have a little more quiche to play with, which we've been dreaming about over the past couple episodes. So times are good. And the biggest thing, and you guys saw it on our Ryan Ruocco episode, he summed it up so nice that just, the goal of the Yankees is to get better. We haven't won World Series. DJ LeMahieu has been our best player the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's other plans if he leaves and you rework the team and you try to make it work. But you should also probably bring back your best player. And increase things around him. Yeah. And they do that, and it's awesome, man. And now, all those things fans were talking about DJ being the next Paul O'Neill and stuff like that, like, you can kind of say that stuff. Like, he's part of the family. He's part of the family.
I want to go through the contract. I want to go through the next steps. Obviously, I want to talk all around this every which way. I'm kind of like, me, I'm combating what I think people are going to comment without even listening to us. Like, clearly the Yankees need to do more. Clearly, this doesn't make them better than last year, just the same as last year. I understand all of that. But the fact is, if he wasn't a Yankee, we'd be very upset. He is a Yankee. We're very excited. Now, the numbers and how this transaction went down, I made a little video for Twitter and Instagram, Jake. I don't know if you saw it. All my brain anyway. But this is what I was trying to tell everyone. Like, this negotiation was so normal, but people were acting like it was so wrong, and the Yankees were doing a disservice, and like the Yankees camp was being like dragging it out. The Yankees gave him an offer. It was 4 years for $75 million, right? They said, this is your offer, go shop it around. Reportedly, the Blue Jays matched it. They actually went 4 years, 78. So if DJ didn't want to be a Yankee and just wanted to take the best of all the first round offers, it looks like the Blue Jays may have topped it with the 4 years, $78 million. He went back to the Yankees, said, hey, this is what I got. What can you do? They said, maybe they bumped it up a tiny bit. Then maybe he goes back again. And eventually, like you realized, any other team has to pay him plus give up a draft pick. It wasn't going to happen. He was going to come back to the Yankees. I like this deal. And now we've heard that it's just 6 years, $90 million, straight up. No funky business, no front loading, no back loading, no options, no buyouts, just straight up. Very simple math. We like that because we're not a math pod. That's 15 a year. So DJ gets the win because he gets $90 million. The Yankees get the win because they were able to spread this out. So the annual average value hit, the AAV, is only $15 million. And if you're like, why the hell is that important? Because that's the luxury tax, and that's the game that all these GMs are playing right now that they have to play.
Liam Hendricks literally got a contract the other day that if he does or doesn't play his last year, they don't care. He's $15 million no matter what.
The Yankees are very used to giving contracts out where they don't care about the last couple years. So if you really want to change the way you picture this contract, think of it like this. The Yankees are paying DJ 4 years. What's 90 divided by 4?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows that for sure.
82.
You could do a
22.
You could do a
22 and a half.
So if this is they're paying him 4 years for $22 million, and in that 5th and 6th year, if he's still good, hell fucking yeah. If he's bad, okay, he's our utility bench spot, or you just kind of sell him
Move
like
on.
the Chase Headley trade, just dump the salary somewhere, or you part ways like the Ellsbury and the A-Rod stuff. If that makes it easier for you to think of, like, because that's how past, that's what this. We're paying for the next 4 years. They just spread it out to get to 6, because a lot of people are scared of that 6-year number. But that's just, that 6-year number, spreading it out, actually is the best news, because with $15, that's how much.
$15.
I mean, $15 this year.
Do whatever you want with it.
Inflation's nuts.
Get a sandwich.
He's making $15 million this year, which leaves them wiggle room, leaves cash wiggle room. Did you get an answer on how much is left?
So I got yelled at because I used the term cap space, which I shouldn't. There's cap in baseball, blah, 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 and that's fine. Don't care. And I'm just going to bring that to the CBA negotiating table. But and we're doing salary arbitration today. It's like the Yankees are. We're not. It seems like there's going to be around $20 million remaining. So it's going to be really interesting. Does that bring Tanaka kind of fully back in play? We haven't heard a thing about Tanaka.
Yeah.
Or, I think in the reaction you just gave me, which is odd because we love Tanaka. We are high up on the Tanaka love list. Is that, are they going to take a flyer on Corey Kluber, which people are starting to tweet about? And, is Corey Kluber, the rumor yesterday was $6 to $8 million. That would leave the Yankees room for another starting pitcher and maybe a reliever. Can the Yankees max out the bullpen? The Yankees pitching is not finished right now, and they've got, we're going to assume, around $20 million to figure out what they need, which in this free agent market, they've got a chance.
Kluber for that much, I can't do that for 1 year. If you only have, we think 15 to 20 left.
We don't know what he looks like. Well, you heard.
But how much is left? 15 to 20?
We think 15 to 20, sure.
The Yankees can spend 15 to 20 mil without taking a hit on the luxury tax. If there's only 15 left, I'm not giving 6 to 8 to Kluber when we have no idea what
he is. I get
Tanaka's
that.
more of a known.
Right.
So I'd rather.
But there's still rumors Tanaka could
get
be
paid.
15
Yeah,
mil.
he could be 15 mil.
He's been as reliable as a starter as there is.
And they need, they need pitching pretty badly.
What
If
are you
there's a
thinking,
way,
Beeper?
but that Kluber number doesn't even make 3 mil makes more sense.
It depends what he looks like. We don't know.
Go get Tank for 12 and 2 for 24 for Tank.
Done.
And then Kluber 1 for 3, and now you have 2 pitchers. And you have a $15 million hit, and then you trade for someone who's making 10 right now to put him somewhere.
Beeper?
It's Nightingale, but he does say the Yankees are going to focus on starting pitching, and they want one more reliever. So I guess like a starter, a reliever.
No offense to Nightingale, but kind of a lot of offense sometimes.
Yeah,
a lot of offense. To
yeah.
Kind of.
That's
a lot
what I'm.
of,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's.
I mean, just like, are you spending all of that?
The Yankees need
Tanaka
they need so much pitching help. There's a lot of reports that they're in on Brantley right now. What's Brantley making? But
probably get paid.
The lineup's pretty good right now. Urshela, good. Gleyber, good bat. Defense. When I'm talking defense, talking lineup.
The lineup's back.
The lineup's great. I mean, as long as they're healthy, obviously. But even if they're not healthy, like Clint's been good, Hicks is good, Stanton's good, Judge is good, DJ's good, Voit led the league in home runs last year, Gleyber's pretty good, Gio's really good, Gary's a huge, giant question mark. So that's all. Gary's the biggest question mark right now.
The two, we'll do lineup right now. Compared to last year, which again, Yankees lineup was pretty good. Looked like a force at the start of the playoffs last year. Weird little season. Health, super important. You mentioned that. Clint Frazier, we believe in more. I think you could put that on the up list. Brett Gardner's still the wild card here. Are the Yankees going to bring him back? And is that $2 million? Is that $4 million? Is Brett Gardner gone? And that's something we haven't fully thought about yet. And maybe depends how the numbers play out. I'd also like to see some improvements on the Yankees bench with how this free agent market sorts out.
They're not going to spend money.
No, I mean, you can get some serious value plays and take a chance on someone. So, but again, they've got the bodies. Is Miguel Andujar supposed to be a part of this year's team? I think so, and that should be a better bench upgrade option. We'll start talking defense in a little bit. For right now, we're excited. So, yeah, Bob Nightingale, kind of on the nose, and like you said, you big dummy. One good starting pitcher, one good reliever for 15 to 20 mil seems like the move, and then you take some bullpen flyers, some relief flyers. Jim, there is a part of me that wouldn't hate, and I don't know if it's Kluber, I don't know, Matt Shoemaker. I'd have to look at the free agent pool a little more. If they bring in a starting pitcher for that 6 to 8 million range, 4 to 8, but they bring 2 impact relievers, I'm kind of okay with that. I know you're hoping, you're really starting to lean more into end of year Sevy and Herman, but I'm interested in taking that chance.
So according to Fangraphs, I'm trying to look at starting pitchers available via signing. Like, this opens up the Yankees. All right, backtrack. I'm excited.
We're excited.
There's something to talk about. I tweeted, the biggest thing unknown about this DJ deal was, does this close the dam or does this open the dam? And that was the AAV. And now because the AAV is $15 million, leads us all to get optimistic and be like, oh, I think that dam just opened. I think now the Yankees got their first priority. We should get an answer. If Gardner's coming back, I think that happens in 2 seconds, to be honest. I think that happens within the week.
The only thing I'd say around that is, if we know the relationship Gardy and his agent have with the team, if they want to also see the starting pitcher domino fall, they could very much have that conversation.
Things are going to happen. Things should be moving now. They need pitching. They need starting pitching. They can make trades for pitching. That's where everyone has found pitching this offseason. Snell got traded for. Lance Lynn got traded for. Who was the other big guy that I'm blanking? And obviously Darvish got traded for. There's even another one, isn't there?
Pitchers got traded. Lance Lynn.
I said him. Yeah. Whatever.
Did you say Snell?
Yeah. We got a lot of them.
We did really good.
We have a Talkin Baseball podcast app.
So I think the dam's opening. So if we're looking, Cardos, who covers the Yankees minor leagues, he responded to you. According to his estimation, he says there's 13 mil available, which is tight.
Which, again, starts getting a little tighter.
Which makes me think Tanaka's not coming back. Because then it would be just Tanaka.
Right.
And then you'd have to trade some people, and then you're looking at Otto as a trade piece, and we like Ottavino, and he's good, but that does clear up 20 mil.
Hey.
So I want to go through these starting pitchers with you, Jake.
Sure.
Waino, he's predicted to get 7 AAV, 7 mil AAV. He's probably going back to Cardinals.
Yeah, hard to wrap my head around that, but
Pretty Ricky. Don't want him.
I don't like Purcell.
I know.
So
I know that.
I'm sorry.
Rich Hill, he's projected to get $8 million. Garrett Richards, that's a name we've been saying forever. Taijuan Walker is a guy that we had on the show. Those are both under 10. Those are some guys projected to get under 10 mil AAV deals. Any of those? What about Paxton reunion or Odorizzi? Any of those do anything for you?
I think Odorizzi's a guy who's still going to get paid. We're almost close to the situation because we know him and he talked to us confidently, but his points weren't BS. It's oh, no, you're kind of right. I think Jake Odorizzi's still in line to get a pretty good payday. The other guys, you've got injury histories, Garrett Richards, things like that. I am okay with that if we're getting impact reliever. We saw Archie Bradley, a guy we've talked about for a while yesterday, signed for 1 for $6.
Yeah.
If you can give me 2 Archie Bradley types, if you can give me a Colomé and someone else, and if I can look at that bullpen again and say, okay, this is the baseline we're looking for. Honestly, the thing that's going through my head right now is, I think Cashman's got the trades on button on now.
That's what I think. I think he's looking at trades before he's looking at anything else right now.
Yeah.
To clear some room and just see what you can get that way to get a guy that's team controlled or in arbitration years on another team. That's what everyone wants. They want to trade for guys that are in arbitration or team controlled. We have a question from the YouTube chat right now from Robbie Hyde. Robbie says, big fan of what you guys do on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being most. How much do you want to bring in the Klubot? You have to tell me how much he's worth, and then I will change that drastically. If you bring him in for $8 million, I'm going to say almost 0. You bring him in for $3 million, I'll probably say 6 out of 10.
I'm excited because baseball contracts, as we've seen, are getting a little more creative. I'd love, I mean, this is where baseball doesn't make sense to me. If you're Corey Kluber, you have to realize that you've been completely hurting out the past 2 years. Like, why wouldn't you get a really good incentive-laden deal? Like, say the Braves are offering you 1 for 5 years, $5 million straight up, but the Yankees offer you 1 for 3, but if you make 10 starts, you get another $3 million.
Yeah.
Like, we would almost sign up for that. We just have no idea.
Because you know who the
you
biggest,
have no idea what that guy's got in the tank.
You know what where the negotiation comes in there?
Frog.
Between Kluber and his agent. And Kluber's got to convince his agent.
Yeah.
Like, no, trust me, Mr. Agent. This is what I want to do.
The player always believes in himself.
And the agent's like, but Kluber, I saw you throw. And he's like, what do you know? You're just an agent.
You're an agent.
You don't know shit about my injuries. And agent's like,
they fight.
Trust me, it
gets weird.
Get as
like,
much guaranteed as you can because I don't believe in you. You're like, my agent?
Their lips get really close and they have one of those moments like, we got to back off.
We've got too close.
We've gone too far on this.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of good years
just
together.
Feel your breath. And it was oddly cold.
There's going to be a trade.
I think a trade is where you go. I mean, if you're looking at relievers, who's still out there? Rosenthal, Clipper, to Brad.
Hey,
how come I don't believe in Brad Hand? How come I'm not excited about
Because we knocked him around in the playoffs. It's kind of...
And he's kind of like soft tossing, right?
A little soft. He's really good.
I know he's really good.
I think we're priced out on Brad Hand, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Cashman prefers trades anyway.
Okay, so how about this?
What about bring Shane Green
I've got
back?
a game.
I got it. I figured it out. I'm
Reunion bullpen.
a reunion bullpen.
Kirby Yates, Shane Green,
And David Phelps.
Tyler Clippard.
No.
Okay.
No Tyler. It's the Moxie boys only. Shane Green,
Moxie boys.
David Phelps. I don't know if Kirby Yates is full of Moxie, but Shane Green and Phelps you were.
Say Kirby Yates in the way you want to say it.
Kirby Yates.
D-Rob also hasn't pitched in 2 years, so he would be cheap. Reunion bullpen.
Bring him over.
Let's tweet. Can we tweet that?
Reunion bullpen. You got
People
that.
have kind of been saying that, but they haven't phrased it reunion bullpen, so tweet that.
Moxie boys. Jim, I think I've got it. We're over here, thumbs up our butt.
I'm gonna open with Clippard. No, I'll open with D-Rob so they get excited.
Yeah.
And then you drop Clippard last, and then people are like, "What the fuck?"
Corey Kluber, hot right now. People are tweeting about him. We've talked about it on Talkin Yanks. There's some risk-reward stuff. What if I went to another name? I saw it in the chat a second ago, and there's also some injury risk stuff, but probably less than Kluber and more successful recently, Jameson Taillon. Guy was in a lot of trade rumors. He had a significant injury. He hasn't been back, but if we're now comparing him and Kluber, if we don't have to give up a real trade package, and I want to say Taillon's number's pretty low, that's a guy I'm interested in taking a flyer on.
That's interesting. If the Kluber price is $8 million, but you can instead get rid of a trade piece for Taillon, what do you value more? The $8 million. How much is Taillon making?
He's arbitration. He was 2.25 last year, and he was out all of last year, so I'd assume $3 million, 3 or 4.
So would you rather trade?
He agreed to 2.25 again this year already.
So he's making $2 million. So would you rather spend $5 to $8 million on a Kluber chance, or spend $2 million and a prospect or two that we don't care about? Wouldn't be a big return.
Wouldn't be a big
on
one.
On that.
I
have my tweet ready.
Crush on.
I mean, I heard Miggy Yahoo's a nice guy, but
reunion bullpen time. D-Rob, Shane Green, Kirby Yates, David Phelps, Tyler Clippard, combo deal, 1 year, $8 million. They split it depending on usage.
I'd love to see the agents discuss that one.
All the agents what are we doing?
I think we're good on that.
Imagine if all the agents pulled all their players that they have no faith in, and they don't even want to spend the energy trying to sign
Here's
them.
the deal, guys.
Let's conglomerate this, guys. And they put all of their junior assistants on it. And all the junior assistants come up with this plan and bring it. And here's what we're doing. It's a combo.
So let's check some boxes. We need one starting pitcher. The caliber we're still unsure about. Potentially 2. would get us excited, even if one of the guys was a Flyer guy.
This guy said you had me until you said Clippard. You can guess the internet.
Yeah.
You can just guess
You
the
can read
internet.
the internet.
Yeah.
We'd like one impact bullpen piece. Maybe same thing you say about the starting pitch. We want one of each and a Flyer on each too. Would be really cool. A Jeremy Jeffress, whatever it is. Jim, let's circle back to some more Yankee stuff, and I don't think this part is exciting, but with DJ being official, that locks Gleyber Torres into the shortstop position.
So it's time for me
Yeah.
to spin zone my brain.
Here we go.
Into believing in Gleyber shortstop.
Game
Gleyber the shortstop.
Lindor theory.
Because
The theory of Lindor.
Because as anyone that's listened to the show knows, I don't think he's long for the shortstop position.
Right.
Now I have to try and get myself to believe. You know what I could really use? I could use some clips of DJ playing shortstop right now wherever he is.
DJ?
Not DJ.
Gleyber. Jim.
Just get me juiced.
We're not dumb. I had the exact same thought process this morning. I know it doesn't really matter, but I kind of need the Gleyber fielding video for Instagram or whatever.
That's what I just said.
I know.
We're agreeing.
I had that literal thought this morning. Also, mostly because Tyro Estrada is always posting practice content, and I'm King Tyro.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's traded for Tyone tomorrow. And then I will be more King Tyro. He will be the best player on the Pirates.
Hoodie Judge responded to mine.
Hoodie Judge.
He said Kluber 1 for 7, D-Rob 1 for 4, Shane Green 1 for 5. You have 4 million left. What are your thoughts?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
I mean, just give me action, baby.
Right. I feel like a gambler right now, just like craving the news.
Jim.
Yes.
I mean, now we're straight getting into almost fake rumor mill, but someone just said Kyle Hendricks in the chat, and would that put you over? He kind of makes money. I just burped.
Why burping so much?
I guess if you send out a Vino over, I don't know. Get me a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Get me a starting pitcher that I think has the potential to start a playoff game.
I have a spin zone about DJ in year 5 and 6 that I've said a bunch on this show.
Say it a bunch.
I think that his skill set allows him to age a little more graceful than A-Rod and Ellsbury and Headley, who we saw kind of get dumped at the end, because he's not a speed guy.
No speed
He's
guy.
not a power guy. Now, he does square the ball up and hit it really hard, and that might diminish as he goes, but he can pick it at first base. Void and him are basically the same age.
First base, third base.
So you can, old guys can go play first base, third base, and then if he can still just, go Ichiro mode and line singles down the right field line and put doubles to the wall and left every now and then on a slow curve, I think he ages a little. Now, obviously, the odds are he's going to age and it's going to go poorly because that's what happens when you get in your late 30s.
A lot of these contracts.
Yes. But I'm just saying I think the odds are. And that's just a positive spin zone that I say on Talkin' Yanks because this is a Yankees podcast.
Yeah. Beeper?
Got the skill set for those last years to not be disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I fought you a little bit on that because I think, like you said, barreling the ball, hard contact, I mean, that just gets harder over time. Your swing speed, I mean, look at Miguel Cabrera a little bit. I mean, his power's gone. And, hey, Miguel Cabrera also did a lot more on a baseball field than DJ. So we'll see, man. Hey, how about this? Maybe we get a thick boy DJ LeMahieu that's got power his final years. Old man strength LeMahieu.
Interesting.
And people are like, when our grandkids look at his baseball reference, they're like, wait.
Adoni, you sick fuck.
Why did DJ's second part of his career, he became the best power hitter ever?
Yeah.
It's a Babe Ruth situation.
Could be steroids.
Adoni Batista, you're the man. Thank you. And I love you.
If you're caught up in the hype right now, if you're having yourself a Friday and you want to go listen to more Yankees talking reactions, head on over to Pinstripe Strong. Joe's McFly, Chris McFly, Keith McPherson, the Mick Boys, because it's another Yankees show on the Jomboy Media Network, and they're going to be having a fun time.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you there's some music and dancing over there.
Yeah, man.
So after you're done listening here, you head on over there. I don't know when they're going live. I mean, I don't think Joe's had woken. Has Joe's woken up yet?
Joe's is up. He texted us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I earlier I had a GIF I wanted to drop on him, on his first tweet about it. and then he wasn't up yet.
Go check them out. Go talk to any Yankee fans today. Today's a good day in Yankee land. And, Jim, you know, sometimes I go to a weird, heavy place, and everyone's like, what are you even talking about?
Get heavy, Jim.
This was a big signing for the Yankees. The Yankees...
For the state of the Yankees. Not for the organization, not necessarily the 2021 squad.
It's not we're screaming from the rafters, we signed Garrett Cole, we're winning the World Series. This is the Yankees being the Yankees. This is, we're not George Steinbrenner's Yankees. We're not paying for everyone. We don't get every free agent. The Yankees operate as a business, and if you're on the internet, you see that to a lot of people's chagrins when at my, childhood lunch table growing up, I got yelled at for the Yankees buying every table, and it left a scar. Look what I do now.
Scar.
If the Yankees let their best player for the past 2 years go because they got outbid by another team, that would have been like a full-blown changing of the
And that's
guard.
why everyone that's not a Yankees fan was ready to rejoice when that happened and dance on graves, and now they can't, and that's nice. How about Quintana?
Sure.
You like him?
I think he had some shoulder stuff, so I'd have to see what that looks like. But again, that's my new requirement, a starting pitcher that there's a world where they could start a playoff game. Like Jose Quintana, yeah, sure. He could be a game 3 or 4. Kluber, if he's right, absolutely. Matt Shoemaker, maybe not. Sorry, Matt. I like you.
You do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I won't dislike him.
Don't dislike him, no. Quintana's projected to make $10 million AAV. I guess so.
Good for you, Jose.
Saw some people in the YouTube chat that's watching live right now mention Bauer, which is just still confusing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess if you don't know the luxury tax and the AAV stuff, you would think that. But, I mean, it's almost a zero
sum.
0.0 option.
I hear people say that, and I don't really know what it means.
Zero sum?
Zero sum. It feels like the Bauer situation.
You can get context clues there.
I mean, it feels like I'm not wrong.
Like the sum of all of that is 0.
In game theory and economic theory, a zero-sum game is a mathematical representation of a situation in which each participant's gain or loss or utility.
Like Yankees plus Bauer equals 0 sum.
Zero-sum game.
0 sum game. Not a math pod. Never been. How come we don't have shirts yet that say Talkin Yanks? Not a math pod.
Math pod. We're not a math pod on every pod we do.
Jomboy Media. Not a math pod.
Not a math pod.
Okay. And if you're having a lot of fun and you want to watch us more, a new Watch and Baggage just dropped on Jomboy Jake Radio.
Ad.
And we're about to end this, and we're about to bring Trevor in, and we're about to go live on Talkin Baseball, where Jake and I will have to go a little more into a sedated, not Yankee fanboys, more controlled reaction.
What it means for the league.
And Trev's going to be a Yankee troll,
Oh, hater.
and it's going to get me very frustrated.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe leave a review if you're thinking of it. DJ's back. We don't get very addy, but we did all day today. And tune in. I mean, Monday's going to be exciting because we still have a lot to process, and Cashman has his huge trade/signing he's about to do.
I mean, it's starting.
It's starting.
The Yankees offseason officially just begun. If we're being very honest, they were just chipping away at the door, and now hopefully they can go storm the castle.
Dude, and Jim, you were on this, so I'll give you credit.
Thank you.
Baseball definitely sent out a secret memo to the teams that's like, hey, 95% NLDH, and we're going to play these games. Because action just started.
Yeah, the NL
Hendricks, DJ.
the NL thinks they're getting a DH.
Yeah.
The Schwarber to the Cubs and the Jose Martinez to Schwarber to the Nats, Jose Martinez to the Mets. They think they're getting a DH for sure. And they're 1-year deals, so they think they're getting a DH this year. One more question from the chat before we get out of here. Gabe Digenova. Chances the signing happened because Bradley got signed and Hand is being courted. Did this make Yankees anxious to get a bullpen piece? I think the Yankees were on DJ's time this entire time, and it was just DJ and his agent had to come to the realization that he wasn't going to get a better offer anywhere else, and the Yankees weren't really going to bid against themselves, I do think the Yankees did, in the end, come back and say, all right, if you don't want 4 for $70, we can give you $90 million, but it's over 6 years.
Spreading it.
And it's not over 4 years. And I think that once they did that, then it just happened. So I don't think outside sources had anything to do with the timing of this. I think it was very normal. I don't think it was extra delayed or extra whatever. I just think the rumor mill and the way Twitter and social media operates now made us all feel like it was being dragged out. I think everything happened pretty normally.
Just the whole offseason's been nothing happened early.
Yes, but that's been going on for the last 5 years.
1 reliever, 1 starter, and 1 bench piece. Those are my minimums.
I don't care about a bench piece.
I do.
But I want
all the injuries.
I want 3 guys.
So we're both on 3.
Yeah, I want 3.
You want 3 throwers.
3 throwers.
Okay.
Gardner can be the bench piece.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. Farewell.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in this surprise episode. Have yourself a Friday. We'll see you back on Monday, and hope, unless there's more secret surprisey stuff. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees.
See you on Talkin' Baseball.